day everyone. For today's video, we are going to present our research study entitled A Historical Inquiry on the Evolution of Baliwag Buntalhat. Chapter 1. The Problem and Its Background. In our everyday clothing, hats have become such a basic items. It can be worn for a multitude of reasons. In the Philippines, there is a traditional straw hat made from fibers taken from the petioles of Buri palm called the buntal hat. It was a significant export in the Philippines in the early half of 20th century, and it's typically worn by farmers working in the field. By 1920, Baliwag Buntal Hat became a dollar-earning investment after the exposure of its release in the international market. The Buntal Hat weaving is observed in Baliwag. The festival events typically last a week or up to 3 weeks, and it starts on May 6 and end on May 26, which is the town's establishment day. The festival lasts for the whole month of May, with various activities scheduled every day. Regardless of the joy and celebration, few resources were written on Buntal Hat in Baliwag, which is likely one of the reasons what causes Buntalhat to be a vanishing art, according to Guevara 2015. The objective of this study is to revive the dying tradition of weaving buntalhat in Baliwag. The researchers aims to provide the current condition of buntalhat industry. It also aims to promote awareness and to boost the production of buntalhat. The study hopes to contribute to increasing awareness of the dying tradition of weaving buntalhats. Statement of the problem. The main task of this study is to determine the historical inquiry on the evolution of Baliwag Buntalhat. Specifically, this research should seek answer to the following question. Number 1. What are the weavers' perspective about the popularity of Baliwag Buntalhat in terms of 1.1 local market, 1.2 international market. Number 2. How the weaver described the acceptance or willingness of the new generation of Baliwag to learn the Buntalhat weaving. And number 3. How the participants describe the challenges of maintaining the Buntalhat industry.
Significance of the study. The study will benefit the following. Buntalhat weaver. This study aims to motivate buntalhat weavers to continue the legacy of creating buntalhats and for them to know that they are valued and appreciated. This study will be able to help buntalhat weaver to promote their products in local and international market. For Baliwagenyo, this study will be able to help the citizens of Baliwag become aware of their culture and arts, especially their buntalhat weaving and why they celebrate the buntalhat festival. Through this study, they can be a part of the progress and preservation of this weaving industry which they have known for. For local government unit, this research paper can serve an inspiration to the local government unit to create more programs on how they will continue improve and preserve their cultural craft of weaving buntalhats. It also aims to revive the dying tradition and pass this beautiful creation of crafts to the next generation of Baliwagenyo. For future researchers, this study can be a source of information for future researchers regarding the history of the buntalhat industry. Scope and limitations. This study will focus on the buntalhat weavers of Baliwag, Bulacan. The participants will consist of 2 buntalhat weavers. Definition of terms. Balibuntal is a previous name of buntalhat and it is derived from the word baliwag. Baliwag is a first-class municipality in the province of Bulacan that was once considered an agricultural community. Buntalhat is a typical Philippine straw hat made from fibers taken from the petioles of buri palm leaves. Commencements is a ceremony in which degrees or diplomas are conferred on graduating students. Ornate, it is made in an intricate shape or decorated with complex patterns. Petioles is a stalk that connects the blade with the leaf base.
Good day, panelists. I am Edmar Garcia, and I am here to present our review-related literature. This section of the study presents the review of the related literature and studies of the local and foreign source, which added more relevance, and depth to the research study. This chapter also discussed the theoretical framework, the conceptual framework, and the synthesis of the study. AGOA 2015 described buntal hat, an extremely fine white Philippine fiber used to make hats that is made from the stalks of an open buri palm leaves. The buntal hat weaving industry first emerged in Baliwag, Bulacan before World War II. Baliwag, Then and Now, written by Rolando Villacorta, traces that the beginning of hat weaving to 1907 when Mariano de Besa from Lucban, Quezon brought bundles of buntal hat fiber when he visited the town. Lucban could not cope with the large demand of the hats. De Besa went to Baliwag, which was already famous for making bamboo hats, hoping to convince the town folk to also weave buntal hat. Villacorta, 1970. Baliwag Note 2017 stated that the Buntal Festival was established in 2004 to carry up the custom of making buntal hats. Beles F 2019 states that as the town celebrates the week-long Buntal Hat Festival, buntal hats are once again in the spotlight. One of the festival highlight was a fashion show last Saturday at SM City in which the models wore the iconic headgear. Even though the festival is celebrated, is it evident that buntal hat weaving are not flourishing because according to Project Larawan, no date, buntal hat making is a dying tradition. Most of the weavers are elderly. The tedious process to create buntal hat does not appeal to the young. Today, buntal hat weaving continues to thrive here, but manufacturers like Dicasa are facing a serious lack of skilled manpower. Balabo D. 2009. A study by Chia, B.A. and Pelizar, I.C. et al. 2017 discovered that the impact of buntal industry on the livelihood of the people in Bonliu, Torrijos, and Marinduque is clear, with the money they earn supporting their family basic requirements, way of life, and children's education.
Theoretical framework. The study is anchored on the functionalism theory proposed by A.R. Radcliffe Brown in 1958. This theory is based on the premise that all aspects of society, institution, rules, and norms serve a purpose and that all are indispensable for the long-term survival of the society. Legal basis. The Republic Act 7356, an act creating the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, establishing national endowment funds for culture and the arts and for other purposes. The Republic Act 7356 serves as the legal basis of our study, which further explains that culture is a human right, national identity, culture of the people, culture by the people, culture for the people. In other words, the culture is creating buntal hats is a culture for which Baliwagueño are known and needs to be preserved for the future generation. Conceptual framework. Input, Baliwag Buntal Hat Weaver. Process, interviewing of Baliwag Buntal Hat weavers. Output, analysis of the current condition of buntal hat industry in Baliwag. Synthesis, the materials for making buntal hat came from the stalks of an open buri palm leaves even before the municipality of Baliwag has always been famous for making buntal hats. The celebration of Buntal Hat Festival is one of their ways to showcase hats since its citizens of Baliwag wear it during the program.
Chapter 3, Methodology. This chapter presents the research design, the population sample and sampling technique, the research instruments of the study, the data gathering procedure, and ethical procedure to answer the sub-problems given in Chapter 1. Research design. The researcher will use a grounded theory qualitative research designed to investigate and determine the current condition of the weaving buntal hats. This study will use a grounded theory designed to emphasize focusing on the data collection and checking and developing analytic ideas. Grounded theory analytic techniques were adopted, and multiple methods of the data collection were employed. including participant observation, field notes, journaling, and informal and formal interviews, postering, triangulation, and helping to ensure the collections of valid and verifiable data by Willis 2007 to identify sites for the data collection. The researcher worked with the Sentro Saliksikan ng Bayan ng Baliwag and with the Tourism Office in Baliwag, Bulacan. This tourism officer connected us to the Buntal Hut weavers who serve as a key information for the study. Using the grounded theory design, the researchers were able to gain a comprehensive understanding of the variables. Population sample and sampling technique. Purposed sampling will be used in the study. The respondents of the study were two selected Baliwag Buntal Hut weavers. The respondents were purposely chosen because the researchers believed that through proposed sampling, the selected Baliwag Buntal Hut weavers were able to answer all the questions being asked and thus be utilized for the study. Research instrument. The major instrument of the study will be an interview with open-ended questions.
Data gathering procedure. Personal interviews will be the mode of the data gathering. The participants were given time to prepare before the interview. The researcher conduct the following procedure in gathering the data. Number 1. The researcher established an approval sheet which was approved by the research advisor of the program and the dean of the school in order to conduct interview. The interview questions are validated by the research advisor. The participants will be interviewed with open-minded questions. Number 3. Before the interview is conducted, the researcher will be give a letter of consent to the respondents, letting them know that the interview is being recorded. The data that the researcher gathered will be available only to the researchers and the direct supervisor of Baliwag Polytechnic College. Number 4. After the data is collected, the researcher will move forward with the interpretation and analysis of the data in the next chapter. Ethical procedure. Informed consent to participate and to be audio recorded was obtained by duly completed consent form for the interviewee and verbal before the beginning of the interview. Each researcher was thoughtfully introduced as were the study's objectives or supporting organization. Data analysis. The data collected in the interview was transcribed by the researchers. It was analyzed and interpreted using the thematic approach. The views, opinions, knowledge, and experiences expressed by the respondents are truly studied to determine the current condition of the Buntal Hut industry. The researchers encode the data and get the main idea, which refers to the theme described by the respondents' answers.
Chapter 4. Presentation, Analysis, and Interpretation of Data. This chapter presents, analyzes, and interprets the data gathered in this research study. The various results were presented in the succeeding data with corresponding discussions and explanations. It also answered specific problems given in the previous chapter. The researchers used a qualitative research design in determining the current condition of Baliwag Buntal Hut industry. The interview was conducted last November 7, 2022. Number 1. What are the weavers' perspectives about the popularity of Buntal Hut? Is the Buntal Hut known in our local and international market? The participants said that the Buntal Hut is originally known in the town of Baliwag and it is still popular in the local and international market. What is the current status of Buntal Hut weaving? According to the participants, the Buntal Hut weaving industry is still surviving in the town of Baliwag. Both participants stopped weaving due to their illnesses. How much is the cost of one Buntal Hut? The participants are not updated on the recent price of Buntal Huts because they stopped creating them many years ago. What is your reason for why you create the Buntal Hut? The major reasons why the participants weave Buntal Huts are because it provides for their daily needs and is a source of income. In your opinion, do you think that Buntal Hut is demand in the market? The participants believe that Buntal Huts are still in demand in the market. Have you thought of teaching your child or your grandchild how to make a Buntal Hut so they can continue making Buntal Huts in the future? The participants said that they are willing to pass on the tradition of weaving buntal hats to their grandchildren.
How do you describe the acceptance of the new generation of Baliwageños towards weaving buntal hat? The participants described that the new generation of Baliwag youth are not interested in weaving. Do you think that there is a chance of bringing back the buntal hat production just like before? The participants believe that the production of buntal hat in Baliwag will continue if youth become interested in weaving. Participants suggested that conducting a seminar would help the youth familiarize themselves with a learn and weaving process of creating buntal hats. Have you noticed any interest in making buntal hats among the generation of Baliwageños? The participants have opposite views on how they see the interest of youth in making buntal hats. Participants believe that youth from Baliwag can be interested in learning weaving.
Chapter 5. Summary, Conclusion, and Recommendation. This chapter presents a summary of findings, the conclusion made, and the recommendations offered. The finding of the study, without so much detailed information, is written on the summary. Generalizations and other inferences would be seen on the conclusion, while the recommendations of the researchers to the beneficiaries of the study can also be seen on this chapter. Generally, this chapter aims to cover up the end result of the study. Summary of findings. What are the weavers' perspective about the popularity of buntal hat, local market, and international market? The participants believe that the buntal hats were still popular and in demand in the local and international market. Number 2 is how will the weaver describe the acceptance, willingness of the new generation of Baliwag to learn the buntal hat weaving? The participants describe that youth are no longer interested in weaving buntal hats because of the use of the gadgets. Number 3 is how the participants describe the challenges of maintaining the buntal hat industry. The participants describe the challenges that the weavers are facing as follows: age and disease, youth are not interested, and lastly, the price of the buntal hat is expensive. Conclusion. Buntal hat weaving is a tradition that is nearly disappearing in the town of Baliwag. The current tradition of the weaving industry are analyzed in this study. Through modernization and globalization, the citizens of Baliwag are no longer aware of weaving and making buntal hats. The industry faces different challenges like the dying of weavers, a lack of interest among youth, and expensive raw materials that are subject to price increases. It is important to note that this study industry has become a source of livelihood, and the town was once recognized around the world as one of the leading exporters of buntal hats. This is Baliwageños' identity, and being bound to forget this beautiful way of crafting a hat would be just a memory. If we did not pay attention or raise awareness, then buntal hat weaving will die forever. Recommendations. Based on the findings and conclusion of the study, the following recommendations are hereby submitted. Number 1, the local government unit should take the initiative to conduct a seminar that aims to teach the youth and the citizens of Baliwag how to make buntal hats. Number 2 is buntal hat weaving is an industry that became a source of income for the citizens of Baliwag. The local government unit should make a program after conducting the seminar that would create jobs for those people who are solo parents, out-of-school youth, and senior citizens who are willing to learn and to earn money. Number 3 is to increase awareness about the dyeing industry of buntal hats. The local officials should set an example by supporting this local product and the identity of their town. It should be worn during flag ceremonies and other events. The tourism office should propose building a weaving center to be the source of production and a place for selling buntal hat products. They should make an extensive promotion and develop other activities that require Baliwageños to participate. The school should create a lesson plan that raises awareness and showcases the buntal hat to familiarize students with its appearance. The teacher should also teach the history of the process of crafting a buntal hat. The teacher should require every student to try weaving as part of their requirements. It should be done for the elementary to collegiate level.